All right.
Boo, Boo, I
So
need you to do something.
no,
Boo, I
no,
need you
no,
to
no.
create
We're
a new.
doing no.
It's movie night. We're getting
We're
over with
doing
movie night.
club.
The
We're
last
4 minutes
Starfighter.
past.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Yeah.
Get ready. Prepare for blast-off. Prepare for target light practice, Starfighter.
It's movie night. We're getting
We're
over with
doing
movie night.
club.
The
We're
last
4 minutes
Starfighter.
past due. DM him. DM him. All right. So the last Starfighter, we picked it in honor of Necro. The Last Starfighter is a 1984 American space opera directed by Nick Castle. And the film tells a story about a boy named Alex Rogan. I guess he's kind of a man. He's in his senior year, trying to get into college. And he gets recruited by an alien named Centauri to help defend an alien defense force to fight an interstellar war against God, I can't even remember the guy's name. Zur.
Zur.
Against Zur.
Yes.
And the Kodan Armada.
Yes.
Kodan Armada.
Yes. So the Last Starfighter is actually has a distinction as being one of cinema's earliest films to use extensive real-life CGI to depict many of its starships, environments, and battle scenes.
It's actually the first film to use predominantly CGI.
Well, it's that along with Tron. Tron also had a whole bunch. Tron, of course, came out in 1982, so it had him beat by a little bit. Yeah, so it's about Alex, and he's got a high school sweetheart, and he beats a video game called Starfighter to defend the frontier.
Which is downloadable and playable today. Somebody did reverse engineer and make their own version of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to share.
No, it's fine. We're used to you interrupting.
Thanks, buddy.
We missed you so much, Necro. We missed you.
So Alex
Boo,
gets recruited.
Boo!
Boo! So Alex is recruited to fight the Kodan Armada. Decides he doesn't want to do it. So he goes back to Earth, and while on Earth, he is replicated by an android named Beta, and Beta is like trying to cover for Alex while he's gone into space. While Alex is gone, Zur's able to break into the frontier and destroy all of the Starfighter command. So eventually Centauri, of course, talks Alex into going back, and when Alex goes back, of course, he is the only one left. Him and his little buddy there, Grig, who's the pilot of the Starfighter, which is called a Gunstar. So they're the last Gunstar to basically defend against Zur and the Kodan Armada, who are going to sweep across the universe and destroy Earth and everything else. So obviously, Alex and Grig successfully defend against the Kodan Armada, and the movie ends with Alex actually going permanently back to space, but he comes back to Earth long enough to get his girlfriend. Yeah.
The fucking ending.
Wow.
Oh
man, that ending gets me emotional every time.
Nick Castle has quite a long filmography. He of course did The Last Starfighter. He did Hook, surprisingly. He did Major Payne.
Who did he play in Hook?
No, he was the director.
Oh wow! All right.
He was the director.
All right.
He wrote Escape from New York with our buddy.
Wow.
Yeah. The Boy Who Could Fly, Dennis the Menace, he directed. So he didn't do Escape from LA, just Escape from New York. And he actually was the original Michael Myers in Halloween.
The fuck?
Yeah. Nick Castle. So
Frank Castle's brother.
Yes, Frank Castle's brother. So that's the. So it had a budget of 15 million, and the movie box officed for 29 million. I don't have any current information. There was a potential sequel for The Last Starfighter that was hinted at in 2008. Seth Rogen and Steven Spielberg both expressed interest in creating a sequel or a remake. But the team that made the original The Last Starfighter said, we don't want any of that.
Yay.
And that's really it. It kind of has went down in somewhat of a history. I remember this movie as a young child. I'm sure Nasty does and Necro does.
Oh my god, yes.
Boo, what did you like and not like about the movie?
I liked all the Lemony Snicket characters that were in there.
You didn't even watch the movie, did you?
What are you talking about? You didn't see every single one of those? Like, Lemony Snicket's was definitely based off of them.
I can kind of see
you know what I'm talking about.
Give me more context. Explain.
They kind of got the same haircut. That's what he means, bro.
Yeah, you didn't see all the all the people that were in there all look like they were old men.
Oh,
all the Rylands.
Yes. All the Rylands, yeah.
That shit was fucking great. I don't know if they stole that from that and like years later, like, you know, pulled that shit.
Lemonades, yeah, could it be?
I've got to ask Malcolm if he's named after this movie.
Did you have any dislikes about the movie?
Fucking not.
I was to say it was like it was what I expected from the last Starfighter. I don't know, it was the last one, so
sure.
You expected great things, and sure as shit they delivered on it. But I guess the mom seemed very like I have a life to take care of, and like you need to handle this business while I'm fucking gone. I don't know, but I understand the dad's not there and shit, so it makes sense. It just felt like he was a teenager with a fucking like a lot on his plate, and then like they're like, oh, you gotta save the universe. So I was like, okay, I see that.
But before you do, you gotta get my power back on, young man.
My soaps.
I need to see my soaps.
I'm old and I fart blood.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Boo. Finish your thought.
I wasn't sure about the guy feeding the dog at the very beginning, why he put it on a plate to put it in another bowl. That pissed me off.
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
Elm.
Yes, repeat the question.
What did you like and dislike about that movie?
So when you say like the beginning of like CGI or whatever, in a sense, one of the first implementations, I was actually really impressed by the CGI and how they used it and for its time. Like, I know it's obviously shitty in comparison, but like if I didn't see that movie as a kid, but even if I did, even as a younger kid, those parts were still like, it was better than like N64 graphics and shit, you know. So I was actually like, wow, like I can't believe some of this looks pretty fucking crisp for what it is. I liked that our hero came from a trailer park. I don't know any trailer park fucking... I've never been to a trailer park that had an arcade at it, or just arcade machines, but sure.
It's stayed around.
Well, if you recall, Elm, I would like to put
they sent it there by accident because it's supposed to be in Vegas.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, Centauri.
Yeah.
Up there by accident.
The things I disliked about this movie. So this movie actually had me missing Six String Samurai. Six String Samurai had some fun ideas and they tried to like make a plot. This was like a kid that played an arcade game. Then the arcade is real in the same way that you're gonna fight these things, sure, and that's cool. But like this bumbling dialogue, his pilot friend, where he has to turn around to talk to him. But dude, I don't give a fuck about you or how you live in a cave. Like I have no character development at all except for this horny kid, and then he saves the universe, and then he goes back home, and then he leaves again. I was kind of really sad with all the writing, but I liked the idea of it, and I can understand why it holds so much like places in people's hearts. It's a fucking, how many movies about video games were there at the time as well? So I'm not trying to just completely shit on it, but the writing was some of it. Like Six String Samurai had better writing in my opinion, with the kids screaming.
Oh goodness!
Was there a lot of writing for the Six String Samurai?
there was a lot. Well,
kind of like desert.
Yo, how much work goes into writing?
You didn't know what to write for him, so that's what
it's better than like, well, I'm in a mobile home that never fucking moves, and like Boo's saying, like I'm fucking.
I just want to jump in here just to break balls for a minute and just not be serious, but still, we all know Elm pretty well here.
Yes.
And if everybody in the room was eating chocolate ice cream, Elm would be like, "Fucking chocolate ass motherfucker,
stupid ass chocolate. Y'all don't know real ice cream. Y'all don't know real ice cream."
No, he's not pulling out strawberry. He's pulling out some fucking.
He'd be like, "Listen,
I'm pulling out Japanese sesame ice cream."
Family members, we used to mix and master ice cream at home all the time, so I got oddly specific preferences. You know, like if this was like a sexual thing, like you gotta like tug on my balls and choke me a little bit. I can't even come.
Exactly. No, but that's this. Necro raises a great point.
I will say, just as a tidbit, the last Starfighter itself was shot in 38 days.
Holy
and I
shit!
feel like, in the scheme of shooting a movie,
yeah,
38 days.
That's impressive.
And it almost feels like
yes. I was gonna. It explains a lot when you said that, but it's impressive. And yeah, I'm not trying to take away that it's a classic. I'm not trying to take anything. This is just my own personal, like Necro says. If seriously, if we were in the ice cream with the room, I'd be like, nah, no. I'm that guy. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry to be that guy.
Yeah, and Dex, what you just said, I really want to add to this. When you said, what did you say? 30, what was the number?
38 days.
38 days. And that's still an amazing movie on my list from childhood till now. And you know what I immediately also thought of when you said that? Fallout New Vegas was made in 18 months.
I can make babies quicker than that.
Nasty. What did you like and dislike about the film?
I liked the portrayal. It's a holler, you know, like that's where the name came from, of like fucking old Kentucky crazy people living in the hills, and they're just yelling down, "Oh, I need my power fixed. I need my power fixed." And I don't know, it's like classic America to me that I think a lot of people don't like get exposed to, you know, like when like they're depicting
Slug, that's what I always try to put myself in the time and place. It is very impressive for what it was. I'm not trying to just shit on it as a bitch.
Shitty apartment in the city if it's that type of movie. But I just really like their depiction of that I think probably a lot of people don't get exposed to. And what I don't like is either this comes from them shooting the movie in 38 days, or there's fucking like shit left on the cutting room floor of where they just like, I feel like they start kind of like hinting at something in the storyline, and then you just like never, they don't mention it again. Like the whole scepter thing, like they had a fucking 5-minute scene about that guy's scepter, and then it doesn't come into it until the end.
Yeah,
when
don't
he's
forget the Emperor himself appointed me, you know, and if anyone should say fire, it should be me. Anyway, fire. And then this dude's like, how long must we put up with this terminal fool? And I'm like, bro, yeah, there was a plot there. I 100% agree with you.
There was a plot there that either just, they're like, well, 38 days is all we can afford.
It's all we got.
You know, because I imagine a lot of their budget went into CGI. I'm sure that shit was super, super expensive back then.
Oh, yeah. Any Yeah. Necro, your likes and dislikes?
My likes, Dan O'Hurley, who played the old man, the owner of OCP in RoboCop. Robert Preston, fucking so many episodes of Twilight Zone, watching with my dad. Fucking Centauri is to me the glue that holds this movie together. He is this movie's Gandalf.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And you can't stop, like, I can't stop thinking of him like as a fucking con man the whole time. He's like Gandalf if Gandalf was chaotic good and kind of a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And
Kind
that's
of gambling.
They wrote that role specifically for him of
yeah,
the famous role
nobody
that
could
he
have done it
had.
better.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's
could have
like-
done it better.
It's based off of a movie that he did in 1962.
How the West Was Won?
No,
Or
it's
The
called
Music
Music Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking
Professor
at
Harold Hill.
I was looking at both him and O'Hurley's filmographies, and I'm like, both of those dudes have been around the block so many times, and those were the big gets for this movie.
Yeah.
Those two dudes, and like, so those are two of my huge likes. But then there's this additional huge like, which is the trailer park and the open windows and everybody being up everybody's ass, because I live in a trailer park with open windows and everybody's up everybody's ass.
Yeah,
And I mean, like every like we have the modern day version of that trailer park, right? So like the guy that manages this place had a stroke because of his fucking pill addiction, so he has like this fucking goon squad that goes around and does shit for him. And like you own your own trailer, but you're like leasing the land.
You're renting the lot.
Right. So like if something happens to your trailer, you have to repair it yourself, but you can go to them and they send out one of the goons and do like this fucking shitty half-ass job. And what I'm saying is I feel that trailer park from the movie in my bones, in my old man bones, uphill both ways with only one shoe. And I love it with my entire soul. And Craig Safan, the soundtrack, Craig Safan, the bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum, bum. Like, I can't help this, and maybe I can speak to the old guys in the room, but whenever the song softens up and you hear the I get a little bit of a fucking emotional fucking chill up my back. Just shoots the I think the French call it frisson.
No, it's called a sound boner.
Yeah, but Craig Safan also did the fucking soundtrack for another of my favorite movies, which is on our list, which is The Adventures of Remo Williams, and I still love the opening soundtrack to that movie because of the same motherfucker from the last Starfighter. So, like, yeah, my likes, all of that stuff, and basically the rest of the entire movie. I like it all. My dislikes, now that I've watched it as like an adult, and I'm fucking pushing 45 in a couple of months here, like, now that I've watched it as an adult, then I purposefully tried to take off my nostalgia boner goggles and maybe look at it like Elm looks at things, you know, like I'm gonna find something to hate. And I tried really hard despite myself. But the only thing that I could say really bothers me is the lack of a plot from the Kodan side of things. Like, we know what Zur's motive is, and we have this fucking Nasty pointed it out. We have this hint of what the Kodan's motives are. They do not respect Zur. They do not fucking like him. But their emperor himself gave them orders to fucking do what he says and let him have this fucking scepter and let him play his little game. But we don't get a close on that plot. So that's, if anything, my only dislike is that dumbass plot hole. Because there's no reason to leave that plot hole open and have Alex go, I don't want to do this. Wait, I do want to do this. Wait, I don't want to do this. Wait, I do want to do this. Like, we got that out of Alex, but we got nothing out of the Kodan. And I feel like we could have taken a couple don't want to do this breaks out of Alex and just reduced them down to one or two. Foot in, foot out, foot in, foot out. And then give us, maybe that extra 10, 20 minutes that we cut from Alex to find some kind of motive out of at least those two dudes leading the Kodan crew, because one of my favorite scenes in movie history is we've breached the moon's gravitational pull. What do? We die. That fucking scene is fucking amazing. That we die just fucking gets me every time. I'm like, you damn right. Facing it like a man, though. Anyway, that's me.
Um, cool, 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 cool. For sure, for sure, for sure. Cool,
Boo,
cool.
Boo, you still
Cool,
there, Boo?
cool,
Boo!
Yeah, yeah.
Boo!
So
Boo!
I definitely
Um,
fucking had more
Boo.
on that than you did.
Yeah, it's true. Boo, what films would you compare this to, like visually, thematically? This is, again, I said it before, this is a space opera. Um, so I didn't answer the last question, so I'm gonna butt in here and actually give my piece and then let everyone else talk. To me, it gives me, like very, very, uh, very like somewhat like Dune-ish vibes.
Hold on, you didn't tell us what you
Spaceballs,
liked
big
and
time.
disliked either yet, Dex.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
skipped that one because I'm not. We're already 20 minutes in. I'm not.
Oh,
and
alright.
you know, some of us like to talk more than others.
All right.
Sorry.
So I just
Sorry.
I'll still.
He's got a good opinion.
I
About
got
it.
time. I got
Yeah.
time.
Okay, well I didn't. You know,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
going
know if
anywhere.
Yeah, we're not
Don't
trying to
worry
make
about
you
it.
skip.
What?
You got a hot
Um,
date, Mr. 20 Minutes?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Answer
not
that.
You trying to
Answer the
tap
first
something?
question then.
You don't have to
so-
be in and out with us.
Yeah.
You can take it
So
slow.
to me, like it gives me like a kind of like a Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that movie, but
Yeah.
it is amazing in my opinion, and also kind of
I'll
like
watch it again just because you said that because I didn't like it the first time.
a little bit of Fifth Element vibes. You know, like we've got this space odyssey going on, this space opera, and you've got a reluctant hero who's got to step up and save the world from annihilation. Boo, what about you? Any themes, any other movies that you can compare it to? Like, is it basically Star Wars?
You still didn't tell us what you liked and disliked about the movie, Dex.
Dex? What did you
What did you like about the movie, Dex?
Oh
Dex,
yeah, I
what did you
mean,
like about
so
it?
for me, again, like with Nasty, like, like this is a big nostalgia drop to me. Like, I wanted a life like Alex had. Like I wanted to be picked up by a space creature and taken
Man,
away.
me too, bro.
Oh, I thought you wanted to get in
Um,
debt and have your shit rejected and not go to college
Like
and stay in the park.
the idea of a community like that, like, because I grew up in the country with just my brother to hang out with. No offense, Nasty. But like having all those people, would have been super cool to me personally. I mean, you know, that's just my opinion. Like, I would have loved a community like that where everyone kind of, not necessarily. I mean, I guess you could say they kind of all looked out for each other. And what I didn't like, is pretty much anything involving Zer. Like he was, and I guess maybe that's by design. Like he's a pissant, but I think he's probably supposed to be a pissant.
You know who he totally just reminds me of? Ground
No,
Up,
you've
and
already
can't-
talked enough, Necro. It's Boo's turn.
That's true. But remember the Prince from Voltron?
No.
Lotor. That was his name.
No, that's KOTOR. That's the Knights of the Old Republic.
So
No.
looking up what a space opera is, Google is telling me that we have things like Guardians of the Galaxy, Stargate, Spaceballs, Battlefield Earth 19, whatever the Battlefield Earth, yeah.
1942, yeah.
What
Hell,
no. No, it's the one with
John Travolta.
John Travolta and stuff like that. So
And yeah, that movie's so bad.
I don't know if I felt those vibes from this same one. I felt like it represented a movie that I can't remember what it is, and I haven't found it. But the kid saw a space buffalo outside that he got transported on some crazy ass ship, and it had like eyeballs, and they were like,
Mac and Me.
maybe it was that. I don't know.
Mac and Me is probably the greatest movie of all time.
I
Are
saw it when I
you?
was a kid.
Oh God, what's the Flight of the Navigator?
It's a
Maybe.
great movie, yeah.
Yes.
That's where like the spaceship picks up the kid, and like they fly all over, and
It's like the metallic silver. It's like a.
and there's
silver
the
jet.
eye is like inside. It's like a big robotic eye.
Yeah.
It's got young Sarah Jessica Parker, well, youngish.
With a little purple hair streak.
Mm-hmm. The 80s was really the fucking time to have movies, man.
Yeah. Snort a lot of coke and Ronald Reagan.
Elm, what about you? Any themes while Boo's researching? We can circle back to him once he's looked up what he needs to look up.
Themes that I like took from the movie or whatever, or
yeah, would you compare it to any other like films, like visually or thematically? Like, did it remind you of another film?
It definitely reminded me of that era, like the era when you would, like, I know, again, I'm a young buck, but I've done some shit. All right, I have. I've been exposed to things by the church. No. Honestly, it was one of those movies you would expect to see at a drive-in, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, you would go out with your friends, and you would kind of be like surprised again to be like, oh, what the fuck, is a video game movie? And like, again, as a kid, I would be blown away, and I'd be like, oh, cool, you know, it's just like the video game logic. But it also reminds me of like. It reminds me of like crappy kung fu ripoff movies. It really has a Last Dragon vibe to it, you know, where it feels.
Call it Last Dragon crappy?
Well, I'm saying the production value and like the.
You better be very careful.
And the acting and
Acting.
it felt like a real movie, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't completely enthralled and sucked in, but it's not like it wasn't a fun ride. It felt like a great movie in the sense of, when we say, oh, you're a movie lover, this is why everyone keeps picking movies like this. Is because this is when you're like, listen, I'm gonna watch a movie. The Last Starfighter is one of those movies that it's literally, you could watch it almost at any occasion. You can sit down with your grandma and enjoy it, you know? So like I'm trying to compare it to something of, and like you guys are saying, of that era. Like it's something Kung Pao tried to recreate, you know? Like it just feels like someone gave a fuck, but it feels like a lot of money was involved, so there were some very hasty decisions, like we've already pointed out.
Boo, were you able to suss out the data that you needed?
I don't think I mean, like I said, there's not really anything I could compare it to except for those older style, like you said. That feels like that.
It sounded like you were looking for a very specific movie, and I just wanted to see if you found it.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, no, that's fine.
It reminded me of a Power Rangers episode.
Yes, hello. Now this might be a hot take, but I want you guys to keep an open mind about this.
That's all we're here for.
Kind of thematically reminds me of Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you know, kind of just flipped a little bit.
It's Spike's origin story.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Alex does go back to space, so it could be completely possible.
Well, you know, if we talk about it, if we got to talk about it, we have our own thematic universe, and it all exists now. So, you know.
Necro, what about you?
I was thinking, like, if I want to say movies from that era, I want to be specific about movies from that era and be like, thematically, this sits close to movies like Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Like the original, not the original, I'm sorry, but the second, if you just drop the original off, Evil Dead, reluctant hero story.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes.
And there was another movie that just like screamed in my mind. One of my friends lovingly referred to this movie as The Lord of the Rings if somebody stole it off the front porch and filed the serial numbers off and spray painted it. And that movie is Willow.
Ooh.
I tried to watch Willow recently because they came out with a new series, and I was not able to get as into it as I was hoping. It seemed really cool, but for some reason,
Mad Mardigan?
Yeah, dude, Mad Mardigan, bro. Mad
Mardigan, bro.
Mad Mardigan?
Mad Mardigan.
Who?
Bav Morda. Fucking Bav Morda.
Maybe that will be my character saying Matt Mardigan.
Mad Mardigan.
Mad Martin.
Matt Mardigan.
Matt Mardigan.
Matthew Marty.
Boo. What was your like any favorite shots, any moments, any dialogue?
When the alien tried to like grab him from the roof on top of that like shitty ass fucking, I don't know what the hell it was. He just like like he couldn't ambush him or anything.
A patio, yeah. Sorry, are you any other favorites?
Oh, that was fucking great. Oh no. The porn. The kid, the 7-year-old kid with all the fucking porn.
Where's Miss July? Circling back or referencing that, Boo, Beta actually was in the movie less, and he tested so well in like focus groups for the movie that they actually went back through and added more scenes with Beta.
And that explains the wig.
Yes.
I do want to make a comment since we are talking about Beta. When he was like laying with a chick and they were like fooling around at that campsite and like he didn't know what to do, the first thing that popped in my head is he doesn't even have a brush. I was just half expecting him to say that.
Elm, what about you? Any favorite shots, moments, dialogue?
So yeah, you guys touched on this one, and Necro, fucking, says shit too. So
I'm additionally here.
I grew up in a trailer park myself for my younger life. Let me clear this. Sorry, my intestine pipe.
Let me see this, baby. 1 second.
You haven't seen it yet? Yeah, I'm not gonna bring up the big screen.
He looks like he's smoking out of the Cheshire Cat's tail.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I seen it from an angle. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I was like, is it really small and flat? I'm like, this is weird as fuck.
It's a weird bubbler. It's a
Queen Slug for
it's cool though. It's cool.
It's I'm only using it because I'm so surprised at how well it hits. It's better than my bong. It's a fucking 10-stage. But anyways, so you guys were talking about this, and I grew up in a trailer park when I was really young. And again, I'm not an old kid on the block. I wish I was. I like hanging out with the old kids, but I was there for the birth of the internet and stuff, right? I was there when you guys were stealing the AOL CDs. But like at that time, like when how Dex was saying, oh, like the community of it, like that was my country experience. As I was in a trailer park outside of a city in the middle of nowhere. And the scene where I can't remember if it was Beta or I think it was the beginning, so it was fucking main dude, whatever the fuck is. You can tell how much I cared. When main dude was when Starfighter was kissing lady, her mom screams for her like, "Hey yo, fucking bop bop," and I'm like, I was hit with nostalgia right there because I'm like, bro, that's the park, like that's the fucking park. But it's because again, I was washed over with thoughts of the trailer park where literally like real story, there was a pavilion in the middle of our park where the kids would hang out and we'd be sitting there and my one friend fucking Antonio, fucking his dad would climb up on the trailer roof and he'd be like, Bonnie, dinner, and like it was just regular shit. Like, people would just be screaming through the park, like, yo, your mom's calling you. You better get the fuck home. But
oh yeah, that's a memory unlock right there, bro.
Yeah, so
like if your mom called by. If my mom called me by both my middle names, I was gonna get an ass.
Right. Yeah. So seriously, the trailer park it actually blew me away, and yeah, that was probably just my favorite part is when that chick's fucking mom just screams for her, as stupid as that is.
One of my favorite parts, well, there is a couple favorite parts, but I liked and nobody else probably did this, but when Greg and Centauri were talking, Greg makes a reference to Excalibur, like, oh, the old Excalibur trick against Centauri. Yeah. And it's just like has Centauri done this before? Like, has he created a quote unquote test to try and find somebody worthy of?
Was he the first Starfighter?
He could have been the first Starfighter.
I have so many questions about Centauri. He's dead and he comes back at the end. How long has
he
lived?
was merely resting.
He was
Yes, how long has he
Yeah.
lived?
He's like Doctor Who.
He's a vampire.
Yes.
And then of course, when Lord Krill's like, damage report, divert, she won't answer the helm. We're locked into the moon's gravitational pull, like Necro said. And then his little fucking eyepiece swings over. We die. Those are my favorite moments. Nasty. What about you?
What's the assassins that get sent?
The fish people? Yeah, I don't actually know. I
Xander
remember.
Zand.
Xander.
Yeah, Xander Zands or whatever. When he's like fucking fighting Alex for the first time, and he like reaches down and grabs him, and fucking Alex runs away, and he runs all of 15 fucking feet and hides behind a little trailer, like. You thought that was gonna be far enough, and I don't think they intended it to be comical, but I laughed so fucking hard because I was like, wow, that's how far you run when you're running from a fucking crazy alien with fish eyes and dripping fucking goo.
I ran
out of
farther
my
from a
fucking
knife-wielding
mind.
robber on the train tracks in my youth, alright?
Yeah.
That shit was awesome. Made me laugh. That's a good scene.
Necro? Oh, sorry, Boo, go ahead.
I was gonna say the robot scene whenever he uncovered the blanket or whatever, that thing was just breathing. I was like, man, that's nightmare quality shit right there.
Yeah, for sure. Necro?
Favorite scenes?
Yeah, any favorite scenes, any quotes, any moments that you really liked?
I already gushed out, I think, my favorite quotes.
Sure.
But I really like I like all the fucking space scenes, like especially the showing of the frontier and the whole idea that the frontier's been there for fucking millennia. It really makes you want to know the history of that world and shit, you know, because when they explain it at the beginning and then they show it, I love the space shots. Because when I was a kid, there's nothing like that, you know? Like, we have special effects that fucking classically just outshine that shit today. But if you were watching that when it was fresh, that was just fucking crazy. It was fucking... And I'd probably have to say the Death Blossom scene is really...
Oh, yeah.
I like
really
all
cool,
the
too.
intercut shots. All the intercut shots between reality and the special effects. Like, the beginning of the movie when he's in Centauri's car... and he's reacting to like flying through space and fucking like driving off the cliff. Like all the shots that cut between the special effects and real actors. Like you could tell there's those that practiced and those that were kind of out of practice. And the dude that played Alex, Lance Guest, I believe his name is.
Yes.
You can see him. You can see the progression of him getting better and better at cutting out of reality and into special effects shots, because those scenes in Centauri's car is it's just like you were saying earlier. I think it was Nasty, maybe laughing your balls off about him running like 5 feet away and hiding behind a trailer. I was fucking dying laughing at the beginning scenes in Centauri's car when they cut from space to Alex's face to space, and then Alex slowly pulling himself towards the dashboard so he could get a better look. All that shit was making me fucking die, dude. I sounded like a girl while I was laughing.
Yeah, I was pretty stoned laughing at those same parts, honestly. I'd like to say before the next question, just to poll myself, that fucking part where they say we die, I laughed so hard and thought it was one of the worst shits I ever heard in a movie, and that they were the worst enemies I'd ever fucking seen, and that they had died to one of the simplest tactics that fucking exist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do that. Fuck, what is that? Oh, Green Lantern. They do that move to him in Green Lantern.
Well, they're blitzkriegers though. They're like fucking, they're like Klingons without a leader. You know what I mean?
I felt like, yeah, he
The
was.
only way out is through. You know that one.
Clearly,
Like,
there's no
how long we have to
Starfighters
put up
left.
with this fool?
We're good.
I felt like his partner was a
When they have to make their
Klingon.
own decisions. They're just like fucking just forward and keep pushing.
I felt like his partner, the pilot dude, was a Klingon because he's like, yes, a great battle with impossible odds. I was like, this motherfucker's a Klingon.
Yeah. Greg did have some interesting dialogue in a few spots. His laugh, yeah, Necro just did his laugh actually, and I don't know if that was intentional or on accident. He just gasps into the microphone. Okay, Boo. Would you recommend this movie to a friend? And then secondly, what would you rate it out of 10?
I would say that I would say if you haven't seen The Last Starfighter, you probably should watch it once and then decide that you don't like it or like it. And I would rate it as a quality movie for what it was trying to achieve, 6.5 to 7. Not like if I was like if like it would be 3,000 on my like list of favorite movies.
I thought he was
watch over.
I thought you were gonna stop Boo, then you decide you don't like it. I thought he was stopping.
It's good. It's good, but it's not like it's on the same fucking boat as Amy, fucking gorilla. What the hell was the movie?
Oh, fuck Congo, the movie you chose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're good. They're good once, and like you're like, oh yeah, that was a movie. All right, whatever. But it wasn't like Kung Pao was just like it was hard to sit through because it was just so fucking dumb. And I'm just like, all right, I get what you're trying to do, but like this needs like weed. And I watched it when I was like 11, so I rewatched it later. I'm like, okay, I understand who this fucking audience, like who it was for.
Steve Odekirk doesn't even do drugs. He just loves old shitty kung fu movies. Steve Odekirk went on to make Jimmy Neutron, Back in the Barnyard, and a lot of other shit. He was also one of the first people to have the Odekirk fucking Vision that was like one of the first online shows. He doesn't do drugs. He's like Frank Zappa, all right? I apologize for Steve Odekirk. He once told me he said some shit to me on Facebook once when Facebook had just started. I was honored, all right?
Oh, wow.
Steve Odekirk's the saint.
Steve Odekirk's the shit, but then he got into an accident and he got really religious and he stopped doing movies and shit. He also did fucking Ace Ventura.
Elm!
Your turn, Elm.
Elm. Would you recommend this movie to a friend, and what would you rate it out of 10?
Oh yeah, so like I'm gonna stick by like the drive-in movie theater. Like it's like Boo's saying, if we were all actually boys in the hood and we went to the drive-in for a double feature and it was Congo and then The Last Starfighter, it would be a fucking beautiful night, right? Fucking snacks, laughs, and fucking the stoners can sit in the back and do their drugs while the straight people, can avoid us. And then we'll laugh together regardless. If I had to rate The Last Starfighter, like, I would give it a solid 4.5 because it's a movie for everybody. And as much as I want to hate on it or whatever, I feel a 4.5. I'm not trying to say that in a bad way. This is like just
out of 10.
Yeah, out of 10. I'm saying this is
out of 5.
Out of 10.
Out of 5.
Out of 10. I'm just it's
like you don't like.
It's right under neutral for me. Like it's neutral in the sense of again, anyone can watch it. You could sit down with your fucking kids. You could sit down with your grandma, and you can have an enjoyable movie time. But there's like. It's like how you guys were pointing out with these cutout pieces and the rushness or whatever. Like if you wanna dig into the guts of movies and you're coming in as a narcissist who's never seen it before, you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I watching? But if you can immerse yourself and think of the time it came out and what it's influenced since and the significance of it, there's something to be held there. It just wasn't the movie for me. I say this with love and more appreciation. I would have watched Six String Samurai again.
That's fucked up. Nasty. Would you,
I'm offended.
Would you recommend this movie to a friend, and what would you rate it out of 10?
I absolutely would recommend it to a friend. In fact, I probably have. and I'm with Elm, but I'm more like it's more like a 6 for me.
Necro?
I like it. I could watch it if it's on TV. I wouldn't change it.
Sure.
Here's the thing, for me. Would I recommend it to a friend? My honest answer is I would recommend this to an adult friend who has a child between the ages of 5 and 10. And I would say, sit your kid down and watch The Last Starfighter, The Goonies, Flight of the Navigator, and a couple of Disney flicks like Something Wicked This Way Comes and Pete's Dragon. And make sure that kid sees RoboCop too. But like, you got to get them young before they fucking get desensitized to the modern world of fucking special effects.
Whatever happened to Elms,
You know,
bitch
like-
ass? I'm just kidding.
And so like, no, it's not that.
I'm
It's
kidding.
not.
No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'm going with the
kinda
bit.
Thinking of that though, Elm, you are desensitized, but you're a rude boy raised by TV. You laugh at violence, and pain and death don't mean shit to you. And I love that about you. So don't change it. There's also a Head PE lyric, but would I rate it out of
Hey,
10?
Mister, I really like your daughter.
I would say it ranks up there with Star Wars for me, but like what I mean is Star Wars is like Last Starfighter if it took itself seriously and had a lot of writing and thought put behind it. But if you were to like mix Star Wars with The Last Dragon, you get The Last Starfighter. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, it still rates high for me because every step along that way, I love every single movie I just mentioned with my whole fucking heart. So I'm going to unfairly skew our average here by giving it a fucking 9 out of 10.
Okay. I would also recommend this movie to a friend. I'm with Elm. I wish I could go back in time, and see this movie with my friends in a drive-in movie theater in the early 90s. That would be like the time. That'd be the time to be alive. And I give it a solid 6.5 out of 7. Are there any other comments anyone else would like to make about the movie?
This
Soundtrack is really badass.
The CGI
Wow.
was again. I just want to say the CGI, regardless of how it was new or whatever. When I saw it, I felt the same way. Like my because like I am trying to get into the moment of it, right? I'm trying to appreciate it for. I'm trying to. It's like Necro said. He wanted to look at it like skew it as an adult and fucking try to pick it apart. I'm trying to do both when I watch it, right? Like I want to be critical, but I'm also trying to be sympathetic to what it's really about. Because every piece, it's fucking art, and you can respect art more if you can understand its story as well. If you're trying to have that open mind, right? But so what I'm trying to say is the CGI reminded me of like, and this is I don't know how to explain it, right? I'm trying to think of it, but the CGI was so good and kind of timeless in a way for what they were portraying. It reminded me of like when you go and watch Alien, just Alien, the first one. First Alien, it's like the way that they made that world, and it's like kind of that, it's kind of Blade Runner feel, obviously we know now, but like the way that Alien is done, and if you go back and watch it with your adult eyes and respect it for like what they were doing, you're just like blown away by their very unique style and the world that they created. And like, so like what Necro was saying, like I loved all the space shots. There was nothing like it. Like seeing it, it's like respecting other old pieces of media. Like they had limitations, but it was crazy what they did with the limitations they had.
So this concludes tonight's movie club. I now challenge each of you to give Elm a movie to add to the wheel. I will of course be sitting out this week because
He won.
I am the moderator.
We have Underwater Pig and Hellboy 2 still as well on the movie wheel. Does anyone want to change their minds?
I believe Necro may need.
Necro needs to add
Yeah.
one, so Necro, you can throw one in the hat.
I thought I called mine already. The Adventures of Remo Williams. Or do I need to add a new one?
No, I got you. I got you.
No.
Adventure of Remo. All right.
So are we happy with Hellboy 2, Pig, and Underwater?
And then Adventure of Remo.
Boo. Yes. Boo, what was your movie?
Hellboy 2.
Yeah, this was Hellboy 2. He hadn't seen it yet.
Elm, what was yours?
Mine was Underwater.
Okay, and
Nasty's was Pig.
Nasty, you want to stick with Pig?
Hell yeah. Oink oink.
Here we go.
All right, boys.
We're spinning. We're spinning. We're spinning.
Spin it.
Yes! Under fucking water! Yes!
I don't know what that is.
Elm, it will be on you to post a trailer.
Yes, yes.
I would like that we all watch it together now.
Okay, yeah, that'd be really cool.
Just for an early react.
All right.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, so
nor have I heard of it.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you guys haven't heard of it, honestly. So Underwater.
Yeah, you share the trailer in Discord?
Yeah, I'm gonna stream it. I'm gonna stream it.
Okay.
So yeah, it came out in 2020. I'll talk about Underwater a little bit really quick because I'm so excited for you guys to watch it. So yeah, this is a very recent movie that's come out.
We are on a delay. Oh my.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stream it to you in Discord. I'm telling you about it as I find it.
Check. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Anyways, no, I'm sorry. I was gonna fucking put a link because I'm an idiot, but I will stream it in 1 second. Underwater is a very recent movie. This is a fucking Cthulhu movie. This movie is the epitome of Cthulhu. This is a horror. And it's such a fucking paranoid induced kind of horror. This is Call of Cthulhu. This is why I picked it. And this is a movie that
I'm not surprised to hear that.
it gets like, I don't want to ruin anything for you, and we can say it gets a bit wild, but it starts very realistically, and in a way, like if you want to connect to the characters, you might see yourself like thinking crazy shit or whatever. But at the same time, I picked this movie for you guys because it also feels like a serious B horror movie, if that makes sense. Like there's still this beautiful horror movie aspect throughout the whole movie. Like you feel like you're all right. I got my popcorn. I'm here for a fucking some kind of horror shit. But this isn't over the top. This isn't fucking Void or something like that. So here I'm about to stream it to the Discord. So yeah, is everyone ready to watch this trailer?
Let me make sure my sound is on for you.
Yeah, same.
Okay, good.
All right, let me know if you can't hear it.
Sounds good.
Listen carefully. You are now 5,000 miles from land, and you're descending 7 miles to the bottom of the ocean. See you all in a month.
Here we go.
I have this movie.
All right, we're gonna do this. Let's do this.
That face.
It's Harry Potter.
I like girls with short hair. Is
Same.
that wrong?
No.
She never has a different face. It's always the same.
Yeah, I mean, well, she hasn't aged since Twilight 'cause she's a vampire.
Yeah, it's true.
Does your face change a lot? Her
Expression.
Oh, gotcha.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how bad's my rig?
10. We drilled to the bottom of the ocean, and we don't know what came out.
Gotta get to the station.
How would we even get there?
We walk. We're just gonna walk with insufficient oxygen across the bottom of the ocean.
You don't know what's out there.
Worst idea ever.
What was that?
Turn your lights on.
Cthulhu!
What is that? What is that?
What a shitty trailer.
PG-13.
What a shitty fucking trailer. It ruined so much shit.